Hello, this is Lisa Hall, principal of Tennyson Middle School, and I'm here with one of our teachers, Miss Joy Marshall, who's a choir teacher here at Tennyson, and we want to talk to you about something that she has been working on for the school. Miss Marshall, tell us about this lovely project that's going on behind us here.
Well, we have decided to paint our lockers to look like the spines of books, and each locker has a different title on it. We're doing that to both beautify our campus and promote literacy with our students. And so as we look at the lockers, you can see that they have titles of middle school appropriate books on them, and then we want students to go to our library and tell the librarian, I want to find that book I saw on the locker, and check it out and read it.
Now, where did you get the inspiration for this idea?
Well, this summer I was on the internet and I saw a school in Tennessee who had done a similar project at their campus. And I thought, well, that would be a great idea. Our lockers were in pretty bad shape. They'd been scratched and repainted in different colors of blue and things like that. And so I said, well, this would be a great idea. And I posted it on my Facebook page. And a lot of Tennyson supporters, parents, and coworkers saw my Facebook page and said, that's the greatest idea I've ever heard. Let's talk to Ms. Hall about this. And our PTA stepped in and pledged money to assist. And to pledged volunteer support to assist us, and so that's how the project got started.
Now, you actually did try to contact that school too, did you not?
I did. I contacted the school in Tennessee. I emailed their principal and said, hey, we're thinking about doing the same thing. Can you tell me what kind of paint you used, what kind of brushes you used, how did you do the lettering? And the principal got me in contact with the teacher there that was in charge, and they emailed me back letting me know kind of the steps of process that they took. They sanded the lockers first and then painted them with oil-based paint, and then came in with latex paint to do the lettering and some paint markers to do the lettering, and we've done a really similar process here.
That's so cool. So educators even across states working together to help beautify and promote literacy. And so it wasn't just going to be this, oh, let's just go in and start slapping some paint on. It was a pretty lengthy process. So kind of take us through step 1, step 2, step 3.
Okay. First, we took steel wool, and we got a group of volunteers to help us, and we scratched the surface of each locker so that the new paint would stick better. Then we came in with the black across the tops and trim and painted that in. And then we came in with 20 different colors of paint and painted each locker a solid different color of paint. And then after that, we came in to do the lettering, and that involves projecting the lettering of the book title onto the locker using a projector, tracing it with a Sharpie, and then coming back over and painting it with the actual paint.
And so how many lockers, I bet you were interested to know this too and went through and counted yourself. How many lockers do we have here at Tennyson Middle School?
We have 637 lockers at Tennyson, and we are going to do our very best to put a title on every single one of them.
Yes, and so when I was contacted about this, I said, yes, go for it, go for it. Of course, the first thing to do was to just get them all painted, and that you wanted to have done before school started. Then we started with this first hallway, because it is one of the main hallways that you first see as you come into Tennyson and visit classrooms. Upstairs, where most of our 7th grade classrooms are, the lockers have just been painted, because this process, the second phase, or the quarter of the end phase, takes a lot of time. So you can't do this by yourself, even though you've been the catalyst for it. So tell me how you've had other people get involved.
Well, we had a parent on our PTA, Mandy Dupuis, who is a part of National Charity League, which is a mother-daughter charity organization that does volunteer work in our community, and it's also a national organization. And she contacted National Charity League, and we had mothers and daughters sign up to come and help paint during the summertime. And they've also come back on Saturdays and helped. We've had teachers assist with painting. Our assistant band director, Brianna Mitchell, has been my second in command when I can't be there and we have a volunteer day scheduled. She comes in and she's the person in charge. Almost all of the lockers traced on our 300 hallways she traced for us, and she's done a huge amount of work. And then we've had former teachers. Jim Patton, who used to teach at Hillcrest, has been up here painting for us. We've had parents who've come and paint, and they've assisted us. And then we've also had our National Junior Honor Society come spend a Saturday painting as well for their service hours. And then finally we've had Baylor Steppin' Out, who has come and assisted us for their fall charity project. We had about 25 or 30 Baylor students who came and made a big step forward on this hallway the weekend that they were here.
Yes, we've had various organizations and, of course, Tennyson supporters, students, even some current students helping us in this project. And if you, as I take an aside here, have an organization and you would like to help us, feel free to contact the school and ask for Lisa Hall or Joy Marshall, and we would love to have you be a part of this process. Because about how far through do you think we are on this whole project that we have going?
We're about a third of the way through on finishing the lettering, because this hallway that we're standing in right now is almost completely done, and there is probably about 25 or 30 lockers on the 300 hallway that's done. And so if I'm just estimating, I would say we're about a third of the way through.
Okay, so let's look at some of the lockers now as we're here on the 100 hallway. We can see here that we have some that are still actually in the process of being finished. You can see here that we have some that have some very small lettering, some graphics that go with them. I really have appreciated the fact that Ms. Marshall has tried to be very specific as far as the lettering and things that she's used. She's looked at the actual books. She's looked at the fonts that are used, the graphics that are used, and then has tried to recreate that look for the students. One of my favorites is actually this indigo star. I just really think that is so cute with the stars. But we have some that are even have more graphics than that. Some of the books that the kids love the most here at Tennyson would have to be the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. If you look down here at the one with the red spine, this is one of the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books with the famous graphic here of the little boy's face. And then right next to this is a really cool one, too, of this eagle sort of to the side for Darius and Twig. These are just a couple of the ones that have some really great graphics and letters. But some of the ones that don't, that are just sort of the more simple ones, are a really nice touch, too, as well. Such as some of the ones over here that are just the plain lettering, but still add such a nice touch. We have Walden, Hush, Dog Sense, Reached, even Aragon. And even though those don't have maybe as many graphics or things of that nature, they're still really neat lockers and books that the kids love. Then we, again, start back to put one in that's got some really great graphics in for Kidnapped, and then Lush even has that. So just the creativity and the coloring that have happened through this process, even as you look down the hallway and you just see how nice it looks, it's just so pleasing to the eye. The kids have really loved it as well and have made comments about how wonderful the process is and how it has just helped to beautify the school in general. You know, as this project has continued throughout the school year, it really became evident to me and to the other staff members that we needed to do something to let Ms. Marshall and Mrs. Marshall know how much we appreciated the hard work that she has been putting in. She constantly is texting me on the weekends that she's going to be coming up here and has ruined some clothes with all the paint. And so I got with an art teacher here on campus and said, what could we do to really let her know that we appreciate everything that she has done and this vision that she has? And we came up with this idea to dedicate one of the lockers, since it is a locker project, to Mrs. Marshall. So we had a gold locker award and had her name put it on this locker so that it will forever be in the history of Tennyson Middle School, and her name will forever be there to let her know how much we appreciate you. And Mrs. Marshall, we so appreciate the work that you've done and the vision that you've had for this school, for all the hard work, not just with the lockers, but just all the hard work that you give to Tennyson through the choir program and the fine arts program that is here. And we just want to say to you, thank you. Thank you so much for helping be a part of Tennyson, and especially your true grit, because you got to have a lot of true grit to tackle 637 lockers. Hello, I'm joined now by Mrs. Jane Sykes, who's a teacher here at Tennyson Middle School, 7th grade math in the Atlas program. And Ms. Sykes, I just wanted to reach out to you and ask you, from a teacher's perspective, what have you thought about this locker project that Mrs. Marshall has taken on? And then how have you personally been involved in this project?
Well, you're exactly right. The credit goes to Joy Marshall for starting this and keeping it going. And I'm so glad you asked me, because I've been here a long time and I've seen quite a locker transformation from the lockers being used to the lockers not being used because we have more children than we have lockers. And so what do you do with lockers? You take them out or you don't. And we chose not to take them out, and I'm so glad we didn't, because now we have a bright, cheery hallway with visuals for the children to look at when they walk down the hallways rather than just dull, boring blue, all the same lockers. So they were painted by students, and then I personally became involved when it came time to choose the library books to trace onto the lockers.
Okay.
So I chose these two library books with Mr. Chickie's Funny Money and the boy who saved baseball, and set up a visual with the projector, projecting it onto the locker, fixing it so that the length and width is where you want it to be, the height. And then it's very simple. You just get a Sharpie and you trace around the letters. And then from this point on, the next step would be to actually add color and brighten it up and make it look as bright and cheery as the others do.
How long do you think it took you to do that?
2 lockers probably took a half an hour.
So not a lot of time.
Because once you get it set up, you can just roll it around. So I'm so glad I participated, because I'm very proud of my 2 lockers.
And they're close to your classroom, so you can come out and
My classroom.
and see the transformation as it continues to go on and on. And what do you think about just from a student? Have you heard students saying anything about the lockers?
Well, comments have been, oh my gosh, they're beautiful. I like the blue one. I like the pink one. I like the green one. I like the purple one. And maybe they've mentioned the library books.
It's always our goal to promote literacy, obviously, but we are big about beautification here at Tennyson. We have a committee this year, beautification committee, because we do believe that having students and teachers and staff in a beautiful building does help morale. Have you seen a change in morale?
Yes, I have seen a change in morale. This just is a wonderful place to be, and thanks to you and the faculty and staff.
You're not just saying that because I'm standing
I'm not
here.
saying that, I mean it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Sykes, and thank you for being interviewed. Thank you for helping us with this and for always supporting every initiative that we have here at Tennyson.
Thank you for funding it, and thank you, Ms. Marshall, for keeping it going.
Thank you much. Hello, I'm now joined by 2 of our students here at Tennyson Middle School, Abigail Zimmerman and Isabella Riggs, who have helped us with this locker project. First, ladies, thank you for helping. And I first want to ask you, how did you find out about the locker project?
I found out through NCL, National Charity League.
And I volunteered through NJHS, National Junior Honor Society.
Awesome, awesome. And so how much time have you given to this project?
13 hours.
Wow, 13 hours? And how much time did you give to your homework last night?
30 minutes.
Okay. And what about you, Abigail?
I probably spent about 10 hours working, some for NJHS and some just because my family was doing it.
And so when you heard about this project, what were your first thoughts about it?
This is going to make the school look a lot prettier.
Colors.
Right. We love colors, right? Abigail loves colors too, I know. And so when you came in, did you have a specific thing you wanted to do as a part of this project, like a specific book you really wanted to do, or a specific color, or what you thought it was going to be like?
I didn't have anything specific. I just wanted to say, ooh, I did this and this.
What about you, Abigail?
I was really excited to see what kind of books they would have, to see if there were any that I had read or didn't read and wanted to read. Same with her, too. So.
Great. So sparked a little bit of love of literacy there and wanting to read and all. And then one of the things that I would like for y'all to tell the audience, because I think it's really funny, is how much paint you actually got on yourselves through this process.
There was not a day I did not go home without paint all over my body. It's a lot. Maybe as much as this locker.
And so when you would come to paint the lockers, you had one particular outfit that you would wear every single day. And why was that?
Because what's the point of getting a lot of clothes dirty if you can just have one? Just saved some clothes.
And what was that you were telling me, Abigail, that your mom had to do because you had so much paint?
Oh, she had to basically give me a bath in Goo Gone and paper towels, which took about 30 minutes because I had it all over my face and my legs and my arms and everywhere. It was.
I'm thinking, were y'all trying to be like actual book spines yourself?
Maybe.
I think so. I think so. Y'all were, and you would have just blended right in with the lockers, right?
Could've.
So, what do you think we should say about Mrs. Marshall and this whole project here at Tennyson?
She has amazing ideas.
I think we can't thank her enough for all we've done. She's added so much joy and color to the school. I mean, thank you.
Yes, we do want to have a shout out to Miss Marshall again, thanking her for this. But as we kind of wrap this whole thing up, let's remind our viewers that they need to watch Waco ISD TV because just like Texans, they need to have what?
True grit.
That's right.